fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask, grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Show here, and before we do continue, these will be the tattoos Deku will be receiving. Everything that is red, the shoulders, the torso, and the markings on the side of the torso, are the tattoos Deku has received. I also do want to say that they do actually arch into the middle, or into the halfway mark of his back. Now, along with that, I do want to say those lines actually do run down over the shoulders and meet with the other ones that wrap around your torso. Now, with that out of the way, let us begin. Now, whenever we last left off, Izuku Midoriya, he has gotten married. Twice. A wedding being held on Earth. To him and Momo. And Midoriya, him being dragged off to the mysterious planet. And having to go through a quest in order to marry Mina. Now, Midoriya was then given ceremonial tattoos that showed that he was marked and soon to be married. Now, with that being said, after receiving the tattoos, Midoriya did head back to Earth. Now, a lot of things are going to happen in this time frame. We are going over a small time, well, not even small, a time skip. Now, this is a time skip of 10 years, and a lot of things do happen. The peace between Midoriya's, home planet and many other planets nearby is actually very good and prosperous. In fact, visitors from other planets have been coming more often. And there's even humans now with the ability to travel out in space and see the worlds. Along with that, Earth has already received a new guardian, and people were actually revived, including someone in particular. Somebody who was thought to be dead forever, or gone. Them waking up in the middle of a battlefield confused. As we do have Todoroki. Now, for those of you confused as to why he is alive, even though he was absorbed by Cell and should not have come back, Cell already completely integrated him into his biomass, and he was actually working on disabling Melissa's shield. Todoroki's soul already passed into the other world, meaning that his body was destroyed, yes, but whenever he was revived, he received a brand new one. Now, basically attributed to what happened to Cell after he was blown up, his body was destroyed, his cells were destroyed, and, 17 was then later revived on a beach somewhere. Now, with that being said, along within this 10-year frame, Midoriya, he is pushing himself intensely, working harder than he's ever worked before. After that quest on Mina's planet, he has learned something. Information forgotten by the Saiyans. Now, with that being said, we also do have the birth of Hope, and Midoriya's other child, the one he does have with Mina. Now, with that being said, we will pick up 10 years later, Midoriya at the age of 35. and him at the World Martial Arts Tournaments. Now, Midoriya has come here today because he was actually invited. And many different people do actually want to see Midoriya's family. The world famous man, or Saiyan, who is actually the entire reason for the peace among the worlds. Now, Midoriya, he actually is quite surprised. Apparently today there will also be some alien fighters in the tournament. So, this could get interesting. And we also do have Hope, who is currently running around and having a bit of fun, as her older brother, well, Wakashi, actually is a bit annoyed, informing his sister that she is being a bit too loud. Now, Midoriya's daughter, the one he does actually have with Mina, actually does talk up, saying that she's not being loud, they're having fun. Now, Wakashi actually does get a bit annoyed, him actually powering up and his aura sparking around him, going on to state that she is actually being very annoying is what she's being. Midoriya putting his hand on his son's shoulder and informing him that he does need to calm down. Yes, sorry, Dad. No, it's fine. You're at that age. Oh, jeez, I feel old. Anyways, Eto, Hope. These two staring directly back at their dad, as Midoriya does actually go on informing them that today is a very special day. Now, they are going to be performing and actually participating in the tournament. Now, do they remember the rules? Yes, Dad. All of them say in unison. Midoriya going on to repeat the rules with them. Hold back against your opponent if they are weaker than you. Do not kill them. And most importantly of all, if they do fight against each other, take it up into the sky, so as to not cause collateral damage. Along with that, only restrict them to grade, well, Super Saiyan 1. Now, with that being said, Midoriya is actually quite surprised. Whenever one of the people who actually do come walking up do introduce themselves. Hey, long time no see, man. Hmm? Oh, hey. Kirishima, right? Midoriya is shaking his hand. Yup. What are you doing here? Oh, me and Baku bro are here. Baku? Oh, Bakugo. Yup. In fact, we heard that you were gonna be here, and he wanted to get a rematch in. A rematch? He knows where I live. If he really wanted to come fight me, then he would have. Now, Bakugo actually does stand there, and he does stare directly at Midoriya, before somebody just bringing his hand out. What's up, you damn nerd? Midoriya grabbing Bakugo by his hand, and the two actually do both begin to squeeze down, while maintaining eye contact. Now, Kirishima actually does watch these two continue to squeeze their hands together. And Midoriya and him are both staring daggers into each other. There might not be any crazy hair flowing, or power levels going out of control, but Kirishima can tell that things are about to get intense. Now, Bakugo then says that Midoriya is quite confident, isn't he? To sign up his kids in the match? Oh, yeah. Midoriya actually calling over his children. And all of them do come over. Midoriya introducing all three of them. And it's being quite surprising. Whoa. That's kind of strange. What is it? Well, you're only married to two chicks, right? Yeah? What about it? Well, there's three of them, and what's the best way to say it? Ah, okay, I get it, man. Listen, Hope is a bit of a special case. Him basically explaining the future timeline, and that Melissa's shield, technically she did have to go against some protocols to create her. Now, Kirishima, he's smart enough to understand what's happening, or what he means, but he doesn't really care enough to listen properly. Basically understanding that, well, she's basically Deku's daughter, yes. However, she basically might as well have a different mother, or mothers. Now, with that being said, we also do have Momo, who does come walking up, along with Mina. Both these two quite curious to see them once again, asking about how long it's been. Now, we also do have Kendo who comes walking up, and who actually does greet Midoriya, asking how he has been. Hmm? I've been pretty good. Training, getting stronger, I have to keep prepared. Prepared for what, man? Nothing's attacked us in Cell. Yeah, that's true. But even then, there's still that idea. Hmm. Alright, well, just, geez. At least chill out for a minute. No. With that being said, a kid does actually come running up. Running past Bakugo, and saying that he's participating in the tournament too. Bakugo bringing his hand up and shouting that Kaito really needs to stop doing that. Kaito? Wait. Midoriya looking over his shoulder and asking Bakugo if that's his kid. Hmm? Oh, yeah. Kendo actually stating, as she actually does punch him in the shoulder, that it's their kid. You two. Yup. Funny how life works. Now, Midoriya is actually quite confused about that, wanting to hear this story. However, then there is what they do hear on the announcements. Hearing that the provisional matches are about to begin, and that all fighters must participate before the tournament does begin. Now, with that being said, everyone does go through these provisional matches and set up to fight. Now, everyone breezes through these easy peasy, and it does actually show their skill. Now, whenever people are put up against Izuku Midoriya, they are actually a bit more surprised, wanting to fight this man and take him down. Some people try to fight Midoriya what they think to be fairly. Some people offered him the first punch, and Midoriya even offered some people the first punch. Now, they would either be flicked out of the ring, punch Midoriya in the jaw and find out that they're not going to win, breaking their hand, or Midoriya quite simply just brings up his finger and flicks it through the air. Not only breaking a lot of their, well, let's say he breaking their chin and nose, but also sending them flying through the wall behind them. Now, along with Midoriya's kids, they also do at least go through these matches quite easily, showing off what seems to be the same power as their father. Along with Midoriya actually watching Bakugo's son Kaito, watching him fight. Now, this is quite interesting. Midoriya watching this child fight and use ki. Now, Kaito does actually do very good. However, apparently it's self-control he lacks. him tossing a very large man over his shoulder as the man gets sent flying through the wall and just keeps going. Now, quite a lot of people actually do stare at this young boy. Many think that he's a monster. And Bakugo basically yelling at Kaito that he should have held back. Now, with that being said, this is quite interesting. So, Kaito must be enhanced then. Really, Bakugo, enhancing your kid? Well, that's kind of interesting. Now, Midoriya does actually ask a few questions. He has talked with Melissa and actually gotten some news from her recently. She has been busy with some of the Earth Defense Force work and helping to create new, well, implants. Last he heard they started using bio implants somewhere around 3 years ago, right? At least that's whenever they made it public. Yeah. Anyways, what's your point? Oh, do you augmented your son? Oh, yeah. Actually, he's quite a special case. Apparently, well, augmenting yourself whenever you're very young does help you in the far future. You can grow with your augmentations and learn with them more. They feel more natural. Compared to all that metal and wire and oil and stuff running through your, well, body, you know? Yeah, that stuff was still uncomfortable. Bakugo actually bringing his shoulder up and adjusting it, saying that those gears always used to get stuck. Uh, okay. That's interesting. Now, with that being said, they actually do finish the conversation, and the actual tournament does begin. Now, every fight that Midoriya's kids are in, or everyone is quite easily breezed through. Some members of the Earth Defense Force people are fighting, and they are still seen as showing off their augmentations. However, they have never switched to the newer models, still running on old systems, meaning that they are obsolete, and they are taken out quite easily. Now, we do have a current fight with Midoriya's son, Wakashi, as he does actually step into the ring, and many different people are looking at this young boy, as he is going to fight with a man 3 to 4 times his size. And the man basically might as well have a rocket launcher planted on his arm. Now, the man informs this young boy that he should really just resign from the match. He would hate to rough him up too much. You talk too much. Yeah, I said it. Come on, just throw a punch, he says, bringing his hand up and waving towards his face, saying that he guarantees he won't land a single hit. Just try it. Now, the man actually does get somewhat enraged. Him trying to blitz the young boy, disappearing from vision before reappearing directly in front of the boy, bringing his hand back and throwing it out forwards. Wakashi with one finger catching the man's fist. And the man is quite surprised. You actually watching as rocket thrusters come out of his forearm and begin to try and power forwards. The young boy still holding the man back with one single finger, bringing his other hand up and actually yawning, asking the man if that is really all he has. The man getting quite annoyed as he actually does try and throw out his his right leg, trying to throw out a rocketed kick directly at the boy. Wakashi bringing his hand up and catching it with another finger, as he actually does bring up his thumb and middle finger, and flick the man's middle leg, the leg being sent flying away as it goes up into the atmosphere. And Midoriya then watches his son, with his hand that he was blocking the punch with, actually disappear. The man boosting forwards and rocketing out of the ring. As Wakashi then does actually reappear in the center, before he begins to step out of it. Everyone being quite surprised, as it is announced that Wakashi Midoriya has won his match. Now, everyone is quite interested in that. That is the young Saiyan boy, the one that people heard about. But wait, that's the kid? Yeah, apparently that's the hybrid, I think, right? No, Midoriya is a Saiyan, remember? Wait, really? I thought he was an Earthling. No, it's they don't know what happened to him. Apparently he's both? That's strange. Now, they're basically murmuring that this boy is the princess's son, along with Earth's defender's son. So, it's quite interesting. Now, you do then have, let's say, Hope's match. Everyone being quite surprised to see a young, white-haired girl walk into the ring. As she actually does look around for her opponents. The person actually appearing out of nowhere, saying that they are currently ready. And the announcers do actually watch the man bring blades out of his arms, stating that the kids these days are a lot stronger than he thought. Now, he does hear who he's going against, at Midoriya. So, at Midoriya. Hope Midoriya. So, that means that he will not have to hold back then. As soon as the match does begin, he disappears. And you actually do see the young girl in the ring begin to move around, apparently just sidestepping attacks. And you actually hear the sound of whoosh, whoosh, whoosh throughout the ring. Now, this is whenever she actually does catch one of these blades. Her catching it in her fingers, or two of her fingers, before actually bringing her hand up. And with her hand, she actually does smack the man in the arm. Now, as soon as she did do that, the man's outline became more apparent, and his cloaking field actually did begin to mess up. As soon as that did happen, she immediately just breaks the blade by snapping it with two fingers, bringing her other hand up and softly tapping the man in his chest as he gets sent flying away. Now, as the man gets sent flying through several walls before stopping, Hope actually does bring her hands up and go to bow before going to walk away. Now, everyone is still confused, as then there is the next match, Eto Midoriya. And people do actually see this girl, and she does look kind of interesting. Alrighty, I am quickly editing this part in. Her name is Etza. Now, along with that, the best way to describe what she does look like. Her skin tone is a very, very light shade of pink, comparable to her mother's, closer to Midoriya's, and her hair color, I do want to say would be purple, along with the fact that she does maintain her alien horns. And as for her tail, I do want to say that would be a tough one. Either she does maintain her mother's tail, with some Saiyan aspects to it, or it is a strange mix. Or, with her Saiyan dominant genes most likely, her genetic code would be overridden to where her tail is a Saiyan tail. Since I do believe that Saiyans can breed with most species. So they're basically very versatile. Now, with that being said, she actually does walk into the ring herself, and the match goes very similar to her older sister. Except her opponent did try and actually fly away, or fly and move around very fast. Now, after that you do have Bakugo's son, who whenever he was put up to fight, did actually begin to show off his own power. Now, whenever he was set up to fight, he was put up against a man who was a very, very famous kickboxer. And his career did actually get more off the ground after he became augmented. Now, the match quickly began as the man disappeared, trying to kick Kaito in the face. As soon as the young boy did actually get hit, he actually did turn his head and swiftly bring his right arm upwards, punching the man and sending him flying. Now, the boy didn't just send him flying out of the ring. The boy probably just shot him into the next state, or somewhere in the ocean. Now, with that being said, the boy does actually go to walk back out of the ring, declaring that his opponent will not be fighting. Now, after the boy does actually walk out of the ring, Kendo does scold her son for going a bit overboard. Midoriya, hearing those specific words, overboard, not all out. So the boy does have actual fighting potential. Interesting. Now, some more matches do go by. Midoriya's match, Bakugo's match, Kirishima's, and even Kendo's herself, along with Momo's, and actually, let's say, Mina's. Now then, while this matchup is currently happening on Earth, we do have somebody out in space. They've heard of this little area that proclaims to be foreign from his empire. He has heard of it and laughed at it, deciding to visit free space. As the Emperor, his eyes are set on course for Earth, along with hearing the rumors of a demon on this planet. So, their clan has stayed in the universe. Quite interesting. He thought that they left around the time him seeing a spacefaring species that went extinct. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night.